half Prismacolor, half budget brand. Can you tell which one's which? I did half of this cupcake with a set of colored pencils that cost $150, and the other half with a barely known brand that only set me back $30 for basically the same number of pencils. But which one's which, and what's the trade-off when working with budget brands? For this experiment, I wrapped all of my pencils in black electrical tape and painted the wood with a black magic marker to keep you guys guessing all the way to the reveal. The purpose of this experiment? To see if you can truly achieve the same results without extra effort or a different coloring approach with basic pencils. Are name brands bad? Not at all. I love Prismacolor and I use it religiously, and that price tag actually carries with it much more than a fancy label. There are other factors to consider, like ease of application, blendability, vibrancy, and lightfastness. So let's see how my two concealed brands hold up against these four criteria. It will probably come as a surprise to you to learn that while Prismacolor pencils are wax-based, my mystery brand is actually oil-based. Now, usually these two types of colored pencils behave quite differently. And actually, if it didn't say so on the label, I would never believe that these pencils were oil. Sure, the pencil lead is a bit harder than that of Prismacolor, but that's true for pretty much anything else out there. Prismacolor is like butter, which I love, but it's not everyone's cup of tea. The way that my budget pencils behave on paper actually feels like wax. As I put my pencil to the paper, the pigment just comes out. Strong, vibrant, effortless. On both halves of the cupcake. So far, so good. No complaints about the ease of application. In fact, both halves took me the same exact amount of time to complete. But while it requires no additional effort to work with budgets, I can already see some differences in the berries. I feel like the blueberries came out stronger in color saturation on the left, while the strawberry looks more vibrant on the right. So do you have a guess yet? Drop a comment right now. Post this timestamp and place your bet. Now, some of the saturation discrepancy can be attributed simply to a different color palette. I didn't actually swatch these pencils against Prisma, I just grabbed whatever looked more or less right for my collection of pre-selected colors and went with that. The reds I selected for each half of the strawberry may have been slightly different to begin with because perfect matches may simply not exist between these two sets. Some blue pigments, for instance, might be generally stronger in one brand over the other. And this is why I designed this cupcake to feature many different colors and effects. Speaking of which, if you want to give this coloring a shot, scan this QR code or click the link below to get your free download of my cupcake drawing and its sister page, where the cupcake is intact. Realistic effects like these are all about how colors flow one into another. There are many ways of creating smooth gradient transitions with colored pencils, but by far the most enjoyable and desirable is blending directly on the paper. Wax pencils are notoriously good for this. But like I already mentioned, my budget brand freakishly behaves like wax pencils, especially where blending is concerned. I was very pleasantly surprised that it came with a white pencil that blends almost identically to the Prismacolor white, meaning I can come in with my white and lighten some areas while also smoothing out the pre-existing colors. Some of you very astutely pointed out that I'm a professional artist and probably have the skill to adjust my style to work with any brand. That is true, I do have that ability. I can make this cupcake look exactly the same with a box of $2 crayons from a drugstore. But that's not the video that I'm making. I'm only sharing this experiment with you because I didn't have to use my supernatural witch powers on this project at all. If I can do this, you can do this too. Now, you may not yet possess the knowledge and skill of how to blend with any brand of pencils, or how to even select the right colors to blend, and that is why my flagship course in the Academy focuses very heavily on technique before application. If you're serious about learning how to use your colored pencils the way that I do, join Pencils Pro. Students that come out of that course come out transformed and able to create pieces like these. Yeah, these are actual real colorings by real students. No witchcraft is required to do what I do. It's all about technique. And in my coloring course, you get plenty of that. 3 years worth of university material, in fact. And the coolest part is that I teach every segment with a different colored pencil brand, so that by the time you're ready to color, you can save money on brands you won't like and spend it on timeless education instead. Blending was really put to the test on this glaze. Here, I needed a full gradient from pure black to pure white through deep burgundy and red. A walk in the park for Prismacolor, but no easy task for poor quality pencils. My mystery brand, however, produced identical results to Prismacolor and with no extra effort. Can you tell if there's a difference in the way I'm mixing colors on the left and on the right? Do you want to change your vote? Drop this timestamp in the comments and tell me if you're sticking with your bet or if you want to change horses. I'm dying to know what you think. Now, I have a confession to make. For my black, I used Prismacolor black on both sides. But wait! I can explain. It's not to mess with you, and it's not to alter the experiment. The budget brand, you see, it came in a beautiful arrangement of 120 pencils of every imaginable color, and white, which I used, but no black. Weirdest thing ever. But actually, there's a perfectly good reason for it. I will explain in a bit. I actually like to buy individual pencils of certain colors. I get 12 packs of Prismacolor white and Prismacolor black, and I use them all the time. The other rule bending here is bringing in a white gel pen for these dots on the strawberries. Everything else is achieved with all Prisma on one half and all but black with budget brand on the other half. So blendability? Check. Complete and calibrated color collection? Not so much for the budget brand, but like I said, there's reason to their madness. Lightfastness is a subject that many colorists are obsessed with, and in my humble opinion, maybe not the most popular one, is kind of overrated. You see, lightfastness is how long your colors stay true for years to come. Certainly, no one wants to look at their drawing the very next day and see it all faded. And that's why it's important to understand what lightfastness actually means. We're talking about years of direct exposure to UV rays. If you plan to hang your colored pencil drawing in your Mediterranean garden, then yeah, after 5 years, if it survives the rain as well as the sun, it may look not quite as vibrant as the day you made it. For the rest of us who keep our art either in folders or framed on a wall inside our homes with electric lights, this doesn't really matter so much. I have drawings going back to high school that were done with budget brands, and they still look really good. And remember that we're talking about using budget brands for learning and practice purposes. Of course, if I was doing a commission piece for a client, I would do it only with high-quality, proven brand names, and I would probably apply a protective spray in the end, because I have no idea what the client wants to do with the work. Maybe they plan to duct tape it to the roof of their dune buggy. And if that's the case, lightfastness certainly does matter. For the purposes of this experiment, several of my friends had a brilliant idea that I actually hang this up on my pin board for a year and then share the update. So I did just that. There it is on my wall. Now, I'm not going out of my way to put this in direct UV light because that just doesn't actually go with my lifestyle. I have a window, but the blinds are closed most of the time and I use studio lights. I feel it's only fair. I will hang this on my wall for a whole year, as you requested, but only in a way that is actually natural to me. All right, final call for bets. Timestamp and comment. That's it. Ready to learn the truth now? Drum roll, please. The left half was done with Prismacolor, and the right half was done with H&B art pencils. You can tell Prismacolor now because they are round, and upon closer inspection, you will also notice the wood is painted with a magic marker. Whereas H&B are actually this beautiful black wood and are triangular in shape. Very cool to hold. I wrapped these in electrical tape for good measure anyway. So, how'd you do? Did you get it right? Let me know. If you're interested in trying out this budget brand, H&B pencils, I put a link to my set in the video description. I still stand by Prismacolor as my favorite brand of pencils to work with, but when you're just starting out with colored pencils, it makes sense to be frugal with your supplies while you figure out if this hobby is even something that you want to stick with. Oh, and about the lack of black in H&B. These softcore oil-based pencils are actually from the Black Edition, specifically designed to work on black and toned paper. So I guess they figured if you're working on black, you don't need a black pencil? They're actually wrong, and I will dive into that deeper on the live stream. On April 7th, I will demo the entire process of me coloring this cupcake. If that's still in the future for you, make sure to set a reminder. If you already missed it, no worries, just watch it as a rerun. It's the same link. And if this experiment piqued your curiosity about various pencil brands, click on this video next to find out how oil and wax pencils work together on the same piece, actually mixed together, not half and half. How to blend them, layer them, and why you would want to mix oil and wax at all.